guys, here, this is Gum. This is my first ever tutorial, and today I will be teaching you how to be making Gorilla Tag monsters. No Blender, no Prisma 3D, and we will only be using Unity and free source scripts. Let me take off all my lights and shaders off. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Assets, type in Gorilla. As you can see here, you're not going to click this one. You're not going to click anything with scripts. You're going to see Gorilla Prefab Asset. Here is your Gorilla. This is what we're going to be using to create our own monster. So now that we have our Gorilla, as you can see, there's no scripts. The first thing you're going to want to do, right-click it, Prefab, Unpack Completely. Make sure when you're making your monsters, you put it in Level, because Level has all your stuff, and put it in the map you want it to be in. Boom. Okay. Now that that's all set up, we're going to be creating an empty object, naming it Gorilla Monster. Make sure, let's put this in Forest 2. We have a gorilla and the empty object. We're gonna put that, as you can see, there's all these stuff here. And now we can see we have our gorilla. This is our model. You cannot move this. You cannot move this. If you move this, your thing's gonna be broken. So do not move it. And you have this thing called the meta rig. This is how to animate. I will be teaching you how to animate in a different video. But for now, I'm going to be teaching you how to model your own monster. As you can see in body, we have the head, and then the shoulder left, shoulder right. And then you see it's connected to the upper arm. And then you can see this, drop this down, you can see forearm. Drop this down, you can see hand, palm, and it goes from there. But you don't really need to focus on crazy things like this. What you should be doing is just, if you want it to be really detailed, you can work on moving fingers and palm. But for now, we're gonna leave that aside and just be working on forearms, upper arms, and shoulders. As you can see, there's the head here. You can turn it, twist it, and move it. But I will be first, this is how to position the monster you're gonna be creating. Big thing. When you are adding, first thing you're gonna wanna do is go and find your materials. I'm gonna go into here. There's a lot of materials I have. I'm just going to be using a random material. Let's use this light fur. I will be teaching you guys how to make materials too in this video. This is like basic knowledge. What you want to do, never use non-material things. Like see, if I put it on my gorilla here, it puts everything as a material. And if you go in player, you do not want to do that. It could lead to issues later. So make sure to only drag materials. I'll be teaching you how to make a material. First, you're going to have your texture. Make sure you have a texture that you want to use. Click Create, Material. And then you're going to click Take Smoothness off and Environmental Reflections off. And then you can just use any material. I don't know what this is, but I'm just going to use it. You have your own material now. Make sure, this is optional, but if you want it to be more, detailed, like this cave texture, see, it has bumps. I place on the ground. See, it has more bumps. You're going to have to duplicate the texture, not the material, the texture, and create a normal map. Let's check this monster face. You see, it's going to be on default for you. You're going to turn it on normal map, and then turn on ignore PNG file gamma, and create from grayscale. You don't need to change bumpiness if you don't want to. It's optional. Now that that's all covered, we have our monster here. We have all the materials set up now. And now let's move on into positioning and customizing our monster. You can see, in the meta rig, we have the body. You don't want to move the body, only when animating. But we're not animating right now. We have the head, shoulder, and its components. Shoulder and its items. We have shoulder left and shoulder right, just like what we talked about. We have 3 main tools we could use. We have rotate. Here, I'll use that. Rotate, move, and scale. I'm going to position my monster to my liking. I'm going to go put it in a walk pose for later when animating. Also, remember, the body, the torso, cannot be changed unless you rotate the whole entire thing. Make sure also not to scale the body itself, because then if you do that, then the rigid body, which you don't have right now, will be a little bit misbalanced and could glitch it later on. Anyways, remember also, to make the torso smaller or bigger, you're going to want to, listen, I said not to make it big, but you can make it small And then you can size up the shoulders and head, which I might as well do that since I already did. Alright, now that I have the monster more of my liking, we have our monster here. And now we're going to be adding components. Okay, I have this monster here. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to copy these components. For people that are really fast going, here, watch this thoroughly. As you can see, we have OxG scripts. That's what I use for monster scripts because it is open source. So credits to OxG too. Anyways, let's be going through all this stuff. First, we have audio source. You can have your own custom audio source. Just use any MP3 file and import it, and then you can select it. You're going to want to loop it and play on awake. Play on awake means as soon as the monster loads in, it will play. Loop means it will play forever, basically. 3D sound settings you're going to want to drop down. Make sure it's on linear, not logarithmic, because if it's on logarithmic, it basically won't work and it will play throughout the map. Minimum distance means how far it takes for the monster's audio to be max. And max distance is how far it can go. If we turn on gizmos over here, you can see our max distance, where you can actually start hearing the monsters right here, and our minimum is right here. That's when the sound goes max. Okay, as you can see, we have this custom-made monster. Let's go down. Photon view, you don't really need to mess with any of this stuff, but if it's different, you can always change it. Photon view, the ID doesn't need to be changed, because it won't. You're going to want capsule collider. Make sure it's sizing up the monster, because what I know is that the capsule collider is the jump scare hitbox. So as soon as you collide with this, you'll get jump scared. And also, if your monster's legs are high and they go like really long, if you have the capsule collider short like this, your monster's legs are going to droop down underground. You're going to want to edit the capsule collider and make it taller, pretty much as tall as the legs, so that will make them stand up and actually walk. The rigid body, here's the rigid body. This makes it so the monster actually has physics. And if you want your monster to fly, take off, use gravity, and turn on kinematic. But if you want him to actually fall, climb, all that stuff, use gravity. This monster AI script by OxG. OxG already tells us how to use this in his YouTube channel, but I'll be quickly explaining. Speed, obviously, the speed of the monster. 8.3 is the average speed of the average player. Chase range is how far the monster can see you. So 60 is pretty long, but it's alright. Player tag, player. Monster tag, jump scare. Monster tag, jump scare makes it so you can actually get jump scared by the monster when you get killed. T-peg, monster TP. Now that we have that covered, light. If we turn on our lights here, you can see this monster has a light. I don't really use this light because usually when I use monsters, I have a custom point light installed in the monster component. So I don't really use this. So you don't really need to put it. I'll teach you how to put lights in later. Universal URP. This makes it so the monsters. It just makes the graphics better. Clear on collision. This makes it so. I'm pretty sure. This makes it so. You clear on collision basically. I don't know. It's really important. Box collider helps guide the monster. Obviously, it makes it so it has collision. All right. So now, make sure you're putting your components in the gorilla monster, not the gorilla. Here we go. Now you have your monster. I didn't set up the components because I don't really want to right now. But now, make sure you have your lights on. Go to gorilla monster. Right click. Click light. Directional light. If you want the whole entire surroundings to be lit up, you can change how you want it to be. Usually people use this for event monsters. But since my monster is an event, I'll be using a light called point light. Point lights are really useful. Let's make sure to change its intensity. And make sure its range is also changed too. So now, you can see the monster now has its own light. And basically you should see components here. You got it. This is your own monster. And that's pretty much all the rest of this video. I will be making an animation tutorial soon. That's it, guys. Goodbye.